Welcome back. This is Mr. James. This is Reading and Writing Lesson 18. That's right, I said reading and writing. And I did also say 18. We are skipping Lesson 17 and going on to Lesson 18. Lesson 18 is the last lesson of this module. So we will be looking at the three most recent texts that we read from this module. We'll be doing some comparing and contrasting between them, and hopefully I can help you out a little bit with understanding some of the questions and vocabulary. Here we go. This will be the last time you see this slide. It says, our learners understand that explorers have had both positive and negative effects on societies. I am sure hopeful that by now you can name some positive effects and some negative effects that explorers have had on different societies. And hopefully by now you can quote accurately from a text when comparing and contrasting themes and topics, which is exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to compare and analyze multiple accounts of a topic. So we're going to look at the topic is explorers, and we're going to look at multiple accounts or multiple stories dealing with that topic of exploration. So let's take a look at the questions and how we're going to use three different texts to help us make that comparison and do that analysis. So the first thing we're going to ask is, what sort of real life events did you read about in these texts? So two out of the three of our stories deal with real life events that you can pretty clearly get through. In Explorers, you have some real life events, and in Pedro's journal, for sure, you have a real life event. And then what historical figures and characters did you learn about? So you should be able to name some. Once again, if you need help, I know that you may not have the actual text in front of you if you're missing the Explorers text, but all the videos I have are still available for you if you need to go back and look at some of those texts for a little bit of a refresher about some of those people. Our close reading question says, state a topic that the texts have in common. Oh my gosh, this feels like I've given you this answer multiple times. Hopefully something about exploration. It's exploration, that's the topic. How does reading three texts on the same topic help you have a better understanding? So give some specific examples from the text about what it helped you better understand. And then we need to know from whose perspective is each text written, and these are three different types of perspectives. One of them is definitely written from somebody within the story, and I'll let you figure out which one that is. And then it says, give one reason the conquistadors went to the New World, and one reason Brandon wanted to win the scavenger hunt. Once again, if you're not sure on the reason the conquistadors went to the New World, I would look back into the text. And I would also look back into the text about why Brandon wanted to win the scavenger hunt. You should be using text evidence to answer these questions. All right, now our vocabulary, as we've said before, when we get to a review, we're just reviewing vocabulary. We're just looking at words we've used before. This first word is the word limitless. So you're just going to be writing a new sentence for limitless. And from the text, it says, he was said to be a local ruler with almost limitless supply of gold. And the conquistadors wanted to get their hands on it. So limitless, less at the end, normally means not having. So this would be not having a limit, no ending, no limit. A lot of morphological links: limit, limited, limiting, limitation. Lots of different words that have that main part of limit in it, and either a different suffix. In the case we're looking at now, you could also say unlimited would be another morphological link. And my sentence had said the amount of design options seemed to be limitless. Like there was no limit, so many different options. Write your own sentence now. All right, our next word is the word enchanted. And in the text, we had talked about how this, I believe, was something mesmerizing or magical if it's enchanting. I imagine when I see something enchanting, it being something that I can't take my eyes off because it is so enchanting. I'm going to pause the video now while I'm getting a phone call. All right, sorry about that. I had to take that phone call. Going back to our word enchanted, uh, the sample sentence I wrote says that the children race through the enchanted forest and into the kingdom. So some sort of when I'm thinking about things that are enchanted, I'm thinking about things like sort of are magical. I can't take my eyes off of them. They're sort of mystical. That might be a good way to think of it as you're writing your own sentence now. And the last word is the word solitude, and that came to us in our most recent text. And we talked about how solitude has that sola or solo, which means alone or secluded. And so when we're talking about things done in solitude, they're done by themselves. We've talked about other morphological names like solitary or solitaire, the game that you play all by yourself. And the example sentence I have says the camper experienced the feeling of solitude while under the night sky. So he felt that he was really just all alone and secluded out in the woods. That feeling of solitude might be an enjoyable feeling to have after you're in the house with everybody in your family. Go ahead and write your own sentence about solitude now. And for your write and response reading, it says to use details from all three texts to write an informative paragraph about some of the tools explorers use. Write your response. Oh, I don't need that part in there. You're going to write it on the paper we gave you, right? So you need to be able to pick out some tools that were used from the text. So in Explorers, the book about the historical explorers, you'll have to look and see what types of things they used to explore. In Pedro's journal, there was definitely some navigation systems in place. There's definitely the way that they traveled from their land to this new world. And from Secrets of the Canyon Cave, we learn about some of the tool that they actually find when they are exploring. So I think you should be able to come up with an example from at least one from every single text as you write this informative paragraph. Remember, you're teaching someone about what you read. This isn't an opinion about which one is best. You're simply naming and describing the types of tools that these different explorers used. Thanks so much for following along with the video. If you have any questions or need anything, reach out to me or one of your other teachers. This should be your last video from me before you have your week off, your spring break, unless, of course, you didn't finish your packet before spring break. And you might do it during that time. Either way, it doesn't matter, but it's been great to be able to share with you. And I can't wait till I get to see you again. Have a great afternoon.